Hey everyone, it's Jason. How are you? Welcome to the Now to Next podcast. So excited to have you here. Dropping a little midweek edition as usual. This is the week of the 17th of November. And I want to talk about something today that's been building for months, years, but it's really come to a head in the last couple of weeks in some conversations that I've been in, as well as research that's been out there. I've been meeting with so many CHROs and their leadership teams, and honestly, CEOs and their senior leadership teams than I have in years, more of them. And between those conversations, the workshops, the offsites, the research that I keep reading, I reached a point where I couldn't not talk about this storm that we're in right now. Because no matter what the company, what the industry, no matter what part of the world, the same themes keep showing up. There's frustrations, there's fears, and there's the same like patterns and signals. And all of it adds up to what I'm calling the November 25 reckoning. It's kind of this perfect storm hitting the workforce from four directions all at the same time, four directions. And I want to talk about those so that at least we call them out and get them on the table. The first one, and these aren't in any specific order, you guys, but I'm going to use this format so that we get them across. The first one, engagement is slipping. And it's slipping because people don't know where they fit anymore. It's not because they're resistant. It's not because they're lazy. It's because the future is blurry. It feels blurry, it is blurry, and no one's telling a clear story. That's number one, engagement. Number two, jobs and skills are shifting. They're shifting faster than anyone can rewrite job descriptions. And do we even want job descriptions? That jobs and work is changing by the quarter. People don't even know what they'll be asked to do in 18 months. That creates another part of the storm. Three, the early career on ramp. It's it's broken. College graduates are stepping into job markets that don't look anything like they were trained for in college. One of the reasons I'm teaching in college right now is because I'm trying to change that. And managers and leaders that I'm working with, they don't have the bandwidth to onboard them into what they need today. And then the fourth one is AI. AI is the accelerant, and AI is being pushed into organizations faster than the organization is able to absorb it. Leaders are saying, and they're feeling, people say use AI, adopt AI, get ROI, show progress. But what I'm finding is that most organizations haven't done the hard internal work to align the mindset, define what success even means, think about designing workflows, not just automating stuff. And managers and employees aren't prepared. The other thing that's really important about this AI piece is that AI isn't the transformation. AI exposes the transformation that we haven't done yet. We don't get value from AI by deploying it. We get value from AI by becoming the type of organization that can embody it. And that's really fascinating to think about, especially in the wind and the light of these other three. So if you add the four of these up, disengaged workers, shifting jobs, broken like early career path, and then AI, you get the exact kind of pattern and signals that I'm seeing everywhere. People are overwhelmed, leaders are hesitant, managers are stuck, and a lot of the change that we're putting out there isn't sticking or taking hold. And that's that November reckoning I'm calling. So let's break down each of the four. I'm not going to take a lot of time to do this, but they're really important to understand. Let's start with engagement. Because if you don't have engaged people, nothing else is going to work. In meetings and organizations, town halls, energy is right now different. It's not resistance, it's not really rebellion. It's just kind of like quiet hesitation, stasis, inertia. It's a sense that people, how do I say this, are watching change happen, but they don't feel a part of it. And this shows up when people start saying things like, I'm not sure where I fit. I don't know what skills matter. No one's explaining our strategy. No one's explaining the future. It feels like we're supposed to run, but no one's really saying where we're going. And when people say that kind of stuff, you can't build confidence on that. You don't build trust. You can't build adoption. You really can't build momentum. So many organizations I'm talking to, the workforces, they don't lean into the change that we need because they feel uncertain. They hold back, they protect themselves, and they cling. I hate that word, but they cling to what they know. And when engagement drops, everything else slows down. Productivity, learning, unlearning, relearning, innovation, collaboration, everything. So, what I'm seeing is we built a moment where employees don't feel future safe and they don't feel future safe. And if they don't feel future safe, they can't really be future ready. So, that first one is engagement. And, we have to stop these yearly engagement surveys. We have to. The world just moves too fast. The second, the job market, overall jobs and the job market's rewriting itself right in front of our eyes. It's not softening, it's reorganized, it's resetting. There's roles disappearing, there's roles merging, there's roles stretching. Job families are being reimagined, job architectures are changing. I was reading something from Harvard Business Review that said about 30% of employers expect role restructuring heading into 2026. 30%. Just imagine 3 in 10 jobs, roles being completely restructured. That's not a small adjustment. I mean, it's really kind of rewriting the architecture of work. And then if you take that and add to the role changes skills and traits, they have they don't even have a 2-year shelf life anymore. And that life used to be more than a decade. So a lot of the people don't even know what they need to know before it becomes outdated. So what does that mean? It means that jobs are evolving fast and we have to move fast. Skills are expiring fast and we have to move fast. Expectations are rising on us and on the workforce. And the clarity, I'm going to use that word again, clarity is disappearing. People aren't resisting change. They're trying to hold on to something that's still shifting under their feet, which we all do. But we have to be on top of this. We have to be in front of it because if we're reactive, it's going to happen to us. It's going to happen to our workforce. And I see it as the second pillar of reckoning. It could be the end of our organizations and our jobs as we know them. The third force, the early career pipeline. It's broken, it's cracked. And that's so important for the future of all of us, you guys. 68%. 68%. And I think it might be more than this, of recent college grads in 2024 and 2025 can't find roles that match what they studied. They can't find roles that match what they studied. And it's not because they're unprepared, I don't think. It's not because they're not trying, even though I'd say that the world of getting jobs has changed drastically from one where we apply for jobs online to when we have to focus on networking. But the entry level roles or jobs that these people were promised, they've changed. Like the jobs that they used to do, let's just break it down. Basic analysis, it's been automated or elevated. Coordination. A lot of the jobs were coordination jobs, but that's how they learned. They've been absorbed into other parts of the organization. Entry level research has been restructured or automated, which it probably should have been. But that doesn't help us deal with the reality that it has been. And finally, content support. PowerPoints, Excels, Word documents, SharePoint filing, et cetera, et cetera. SharePoint filing, I'm not sure if that's a thing. Th- Those jobs have been merged or replaced or automated. So the starting point for these roles has moved. And the way I feel it and I see it is that no one told the people who were supposed to start where the starting point is. Career counselors and career fairs are telling people one thing, but when they get there, it's different. So we have graduates and people being trained saying, I don't know where I'm going to fit. Managers, leaders saying, I don't have time to onboard someone who's not ready. Like, I don't have time for this. And we have employees saying, we can't find talent with the right skills. All three sides of that, all three sides, the grads, the managers, and the employers are right, but they're stuck. So, like, to me, I don't know if we broke the early career pipeline as much as we broke the promise of how careers begin. And I truly think that the long term consequences of that are massive and something that we all, in my mind, have to address in force, with force in 2026. And then this fourth element of the storm, you know, I don't even know what to call it. AI pressure without the readiness of the organization. There was a time in my career where I was manager or director of organizational readiness. What did that mean? Please don't laugh, but I taught people how to get ready for Windows, Microsoft Windows. And today, this force that I'm talking about, this fourth force, is something that no one really wants to say out loud, but it's there. People are rolling out AI faster than their culture, their flows, their workflows, and the leaders are prepared for. And like, what does this show up as? It shows up, and I'm in almost every conversation, I'm hearing it. We deployed the tools, we ran the training, we just bought the licenses, and they're, that let's celebrate that. We showed the demo. But when we actually drill in and say, how has the work actually changed? No one has an answer. They'll say something like, well, we're doing it faster. It's still not good. It's not the right flow, but we're doing it faster. And organizations and companies and people, I'm looking at and I'm reading these studies where everyone wants AI outcomes, but they're not focusing on the AI mindset. They want efficiency without redesigning. They want value without transforming. Transforming, radical change. Radical change is not putting technology on top of old stuff. But AI isn't the value. And I don't know how to express this. AI is the invitation. The value, the value really comes when we start redesigning our flows. We define in different ways what good work means, which is going to have impact on performance reviews and learning. We have new expectations. What are our measures of success? We have different forms of collaboration, not email back and forth. Like, I watch organizations email their GPTs or their AI workflows. That's not the way to do it, you guys. Like, forms of collaboration are people working together in a GPT, creating new ways of work. And we have to give them space, or we have to create space to do this. New leadership behaviors. How am I managing people that work with agents? And then really come up and create a document and a manifesto on what is the relationship between people and technology. Without that, all AI is a layer of noise. And it's distracting noise on top of an unchanged system. AI doesn't fail, you guys. The organizational readiness is the part that fails. So when we think about this, the collision of these four makes this moment really, really different in my mind. They're not four separate issues. They're one ecosystem of work that's reacting to itself. Low engagement makes job changes harder. Job changes make career entry harder. Career pressure and early career pressure hits managers harder. Managers get overwhelmed and limit adoption, or technology organizations block adoption. Limited adoption undermines AI. AI puts the pressure on the job confusion, and then job confusion increases disengagement. You see, it's a loop, it's a cycle, and it's a storm. And if we're in that storm, it feels like everything's happening at once, and it feels like we're behind. When no one's actually behind, we're just all in this November 2025 reckoning, thinking about what the next year is going to be. It's why the leaders kind of feel heavy. Every organization I talk to, the employees feel a little bit lost. Managers feel stuck. The adoption of new capabilities feels shallow. But it's a system, capital S problem, not a technical problem. So, what is 2026 and 2027 going to look like? Just at a high level. This isn't a prediction, you guys. It's a direction that's already pretty visible. So, the signals are there. Entry level jobs are going to require judgment, communication, and tech fluency on day one. Period. Like, let's stop pretending. Managers will spend much more time coaching on decisions than making the decisions themselves. The career paths are going to be much more lateral, lattice based. We've heard this for a long time, but it's here. Much more project based and gig based. The skill sets, the skill sets have to, in my mind, expand, but the titles probably go away. Because guess what? We're going to be doing lots of things. We can't just put this small, succinct title on what we do. And then organizations that today rebuild this early career pathway, they're going to have a huge advantage a year, a 2, 5 years down the road. I I was trying to think of a way to sum this up. If you're leading organizations today with a 2016 mindset, 2026 processes, if you're leading with 2026, you're going to be in great shape. But if you're leading with a 2016 mindset, 2016 processes, which isn't that long ago, you guys, I get it. But a lot of us haven't touched our stuff since then. We're not going to make it to 2027. I really think this is the moment that leaders have to choose whether they're building for now or whether they're building for next. That's why I named this podcast this. A few things I just want to end with. The skill mismatch, the cost of getting this wrong. People are saying the skills mismatch, and these studies say that the skills mismatch, will cost organizations trillions of dollars by 2030. And if organizations today are investing $800 per employee per year in reskilling, most leading organizations are spending 3 to 4 or 5 times that. $800 per employee per year is probably going towards tool training, how to get to the tools, how to use the tools. But what we're missing and what we're hoping that people magically have that they don't is this adaptability, this communication, the collaboration, the soft skills, system thinking, AI partnership. And if we don't rebuild and reset those, nothing happens. Nothing's happens. Nothing changes. So where do we go from here? Enough of that. Here's the most, like I say, the honest answer I can give you. You can't transform work without transforming the workforce. I'm going to say it again. You can't transform work without transforming the workforce. And before you jump full speed into AI, you have to really say, what are the roles that I need? Clear roles. You have to build manager capability. You have to have a culture that supports experimentation. And your workflows have to be built in a way where value is created. We're orchestrating value, not automating to get value. If we do this, adoption becomes natural. But if we skip this, nothing changes. That's the now to next moment, you guys. Organizations that step into this, they'll win. Organizations that don't will be paying, they'll probably be playing catch up, and they'll probably be playing, we're gone. That's not scaring you, you guys. It's the truth. Here's the anchor. The future of work isn't going to be built by technology. I'm about to give a keynote right after I record this. The future of work is not going to be built by technology. It's going to be built by people who feel ready for it. So, just a quick challenge, you guys. 7 days, Thanksgiving holiday. I know we're going to spend time with our families and things like this, but a few things. Have an honest conversation with yourself and your team about what work is really going to look like in 2026. Just be clear. How do you want it to look? If you had your one wish, take the genie out of the bottle, one wish, take one workflow and redesign just one step of it. And then the other thing that I think you can't not do is to look at this early career strategy with different eyes, no matter what role you're in, higher level, lower level leader, or just a colleague. Look at it with clear eyes and say, what do we have to do to change it? These storms that I'm talking about, this reckoning, it's not just chaos. It should be a signal. And it's telling us that this is our time. It's our time that we have to focus on rebuild. You guys, if we get this right, we're not just going to survive it. We're going to build something that's far, far better forever. And that's what I'm so excited about. I hope this was helpful. I hope you think about this reckoning. And I hope that as you're putting the final touches on your 2026 plans, you take some time to think about those 4 areas. How do you bring them to life, starting right out of the gate in January of 26? As always, thank you so much for listening. Let's move together from now to next. Please share this. Please share this if you think anyone, friends, family, colleagues, leaders, find value in it. Thanks a ton. Have a great one. Talk to y'all soon. Bye bye.